It's San Francisco 49ers Prediction Friday as they get ready to face off against the Tampa Bay Bucs out of the bye week. But obviously, the big story is around Christian McCaffrey. Let's talk about what his workload is going to look like. We got to do some sleeper picks too, and I got a really big offering for you guys in that. And we might have to throw CMC into the mix because we haven't been able to have any fun with Christian. So we'll talk about all those things. We'll do our normal predictions, players of the game, all that good stuff. Deep dive into the roster for the Tampa Bay Bucs and talk about the matchups that we like. And we'll get our picks in at the end. But let's get into it all right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What is going down? SDS Prediction Friday brought to you by Tick Pick. Any of you guys going to the game against the Tampa Bay Bucs? Would love to see if any of you guys will be there. And if you are and you haven't got tickets yet, of course, make sure you're using the Tick Pick app. No hidden fees, best ticket prices out there, not even close. And if you use my promo code SF9ers, you will also get a discount on your ticket. So it seems like a pretty darn good deal to me. But I think the best deal around the San Francisco 49ers right now is the return of Christian McCaffrey back to the lineup. He will be activated from injured reserve officially tomorrow. The San Francisco 49ers will have to make a corresponding roster move. So that means someone who is currently on the active will either be released, waived, or put potentially on injured reserve if there was an injury that they felt like they needed to make some roster moves or what have you. But we do anticipate that the long-awaited return of Christian McCaffrey is officially over. It feels fantastic. I really do think that this is going to be such a huge spark for this team. I can't even wrap my head around how big of a spark it will be to have Christian McCaffrey back into the offense, back into the lineup. It's just going to be an electric start to the second half of the season. Obviously, hey, on paper, it's all great and all right, but you got to get out there and you got to get it done. CMC is officially questionable. That is correct. But all signs pointing to Christian McCaffrey playing in this game. Hey, that's the expectation. He's going. He is going. We heard from Richard Sherman earlier in the week that Christian McCaffrey told him that he probably could have played against the Dallas Cowboys. And then that gave him an additional 3 weeks to get more healthy, I guess, to rest and recover and make sure that he's in the right spot. So again, the things that we'll be looking for is it the old CMC? I think it is important to note that Christian McCaffrey is coming back from an injury that has had him out of football for a long time. So you have to give a little bit of room for him to knock off some of the rust. So I do imagine there'll be a little rust. Obviously, again, we've seen this from some of the better players anywhere across the league. You miss some time, and it's kind of like a slow burn getting back. However, not everyone's Christian McCaffrey. So I do expect Christian McCaffrey to play a decent amount. I really do expect him to have a very similar workload. Basically, if he was never hurt, I think that when you get a player of Christian McCaffrey's caliber and you get him back, and considering how cautious they have been, I do think he will play a lot of snaps. So really, Really excited about that. Really looking forward to seeing number 23 back out on the field. It's been a really, really long time. So, man, feels good. Feels phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So, let's talk about some of the other updates that came out of practice today. A couple other players are questionable, including Nick Bosa, Debo Samuel. Nick was dealing with a hip pointer throughout this week. I do imagine that he will play. It is Nick. I saw Lombardi posted a video to the timeline showing some drills with Nick from practice today. He doesn't look like anything that is going to stop him from playing in this game against his good old friend Baker Mayfield. So, hey, they're going to be able to get after it. And looking forward to seeing Nick Bosa. I think he has an opportunity to have a really big game. Jonathan Feliciano is officially questionable. Even though he is on IR, it doesn't sound like Feliciano will be elevated or activated for this game coming up. So, something to keep an eye out on. We'll see if there is a roster move that follows Jonathan Feliciano. Looks like Jordan Mason's going to be good to go. Malik Mustafa also questionable. He kind of dealt with an injury in the middle of the week during practice, but he is expected to be able to hopefully go. So we'll see. We'll continue to monitor that situation and see how that progresses along. But it does seem like the 49ers are going to be pretty healthy for this one. No Juwan Jennings on their injury report. Doesn't look like Kevin Givens or Chris Conley will be going in this game. So, hey, the 49ers got a new defensive tackle that they're going to be trotting out there. Tashawn Gibson has an opportunity to be called up to the active roster with Malik kind of dealing with his injury. So, hey, we could see the return of Tashawn Gibson. I would imagine he would probably start for the 49ers because, again, even though he hasn't, been with the team for the entire year, he's just signed to the practice squad this week. You would imagine he knows what it's about. He knows what the 49ers defense requires, and he can be plug and play. So there is a chance that we do see Tashawn Gibson out there playing for the 49ers this week. It'll be interesting to see if that is the case. Hopefully Malik is good. Malik Mustafa has been having a phenomenal season so far, and just really, really liked what I've seen from him and his maturation process. So hopefully we get Malik, but if it's not, I could imagine that we will see Jair Brown and Tashawn Gibson. So we'll see. We'll see. But there's a Baker Mayfield didn't practice for 2 days throughout this week. However, he did practice today, and he was removed off the injury report. So anyone who was, hoping that Baker wasn't going to play, that is not the case. Baker will play in this game. We know that they are a little bit banged up. So that seems like a perfect opportunity for us to take a look at the Tampa Bay Bucs depth chart, see what matchups that we like. Okay, we do have the official injury report just dropping. Mooney Ward is officially out. Defensive tackle Kevin Givens is officially out as well, along with Chris Conley. So we just talked about those guys. So understandable that Mooney Ward won't be able to go. That makes sense. They actually had the celebration of life for his daughter Amani Joy today. It looked like John Lynch, Austin Moss, and some other 49ers um, staff members were in attendance. And again, I don't. There's zero rush for Mooney Ward to return. Of course, yes, we would love to see Mooney out there. We would love to see his playmaking ability on the outside. But we're talking about something that's bigger than football and bigger than your job, bigger than any of those things. So you got to do what you got to do, and totally got Mooney Ward's back. Whatever he needs to do to process. Man, take as much time as you need, man. So we'll see. But that tells us right there that we should see a lot more Renardo Green in this game. It also means that we should see some Isaac Yadam as well. So that just came out. Let me get that out. Man, can't even imagine what Mooney Ward had to go through today. It does look like Yetur Gross Matos is out. So the 49ers, if you're just joining, have officially ruled out Charvarius Ward. And again, take all the time that you need, man. All the time that you need. Defensive tackle Kevin Givens and Chris Conley are also out. All right. Getting the post out. I should be able to go. Man. Situation with Charvarius Ward, man, really put a lot of things into perspective for sure. Really kind of put an emphasis on what's important, what's not important. A lot of stuff going around that's just really not important. And you have to look at this situation with Mooney, and just your heart has to go out to him, has to go out to his family. Just unthinkable situation that they have to go through. So hopefully they felt the love, felt the appreciation that the fan base has for Mooney, and hopefully brought them some positivity during a very difficult time. So just a tough one for sure. But wishing nothing but the best for him. Let's take a look at the roster for the Tampa Bay Bucs. Obviously, we already talked about Baker Mayfield. He will be playing in this one. He did miss some practices with a toe injury, but he is expected to play. So definitely get ready for Baker Mayfield. He's actually been playing well. He's been playing well. I've said it before. I was actually a big fan of Baker Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma. I thought he was a really good quarterback. He definitely had some interesting off-field situations going on, but I thought he was the ultimate competitor. I thought he was a guy that, was tough as nails and could throw the ball wherever he wanted to. I think Baker Mayfield has, escaped the Browns. It took him a while to find his way to the Bucs, but he has really found a home with the Bucs, and he is playing at a pretty high level. Where the 49ers and where I think the most interesting matchup in this game is going to lie is going to be with the running backs. It's going to be with Rachaad White, Bucky Irvin, with a little bit of Sean Tucker sprinkled in. So if you don't know this about me, I am a huge Rachaad White fan. He was a draft crush of mine coming out of ASU. As a result of that, he actually might be the most rostered player that I have in all of my fantasy or dynasty leagues. I think I'm in like 12 or 13 leagues, and I might have Rachaad White in like 85% of my leagues, whether I've traded for him, whether I've drafted for him. I got Rachaad White everywhere. Now, from a fantasy perspective, it's been an okay season. He's now splitting reps with Bucky Irving, but the point of this is I've spent a lot of time watching these guys, and Bucky is really good. Bucky's really good. White is very inefficient with his carries. The White does his damage as a receiving threat out of the backfield. White just, for whatever reason, when it comes to running between the tackles, it just isn't working for him. But they find ways to get him involved, in the passing game. So that's where Rachaad White really fits into this mold. He's not going to beat you between the tackles, but you get him the ball in space, he can make you miss, and he can be effective that way. Bucky Irving, I do think, is a better runner in between the tackles. I think he's a tad bit more explosive than Rachaad White, and dare I say, he can make guys miss a little bit better than Rachaad White. So they're a strong tandem. And with kind of keeping my eye on that backfield over the years, and seeing how Bucky has really just thrived this year, those are the two guys that they're going to try to get matchup problems, try to get these guys the ball in space. And I really think that Rachaad White and Bucky Irving, if you can stop those guys and you can stop them from churning out first downs, that you can then make them one-dimensional. And if you make them one-dimensional, we already know they don't have Mike Evans. They don't have Chris Godwin. Jalen McMillan, his status is up in the air. So right now, basically their top wide receiver is Sterling Shepard and Trey Palmer and Ryan Miller. So they're just so thin at the wide receiver position. So the 49ers have a chance to be able to make them one-dimensional. And if they can take away the run game, if they can really kind of put clamps on Rachaad White and Bucky Irvin, the 49ers have a good chance to really make this a difficult time for this offense. Now, Cade Otton, I think he's a pretty solid tight end. I wouldn't say he's a great tight end, but I would say he's a good tight end. And they have been going to him more and more over the last couple weeks because they have to. But he is also going to be one of their top receiving threats. So the 49ers linebackers and safeties, I think, are going to be active in this game, trying to shut down the tight end and the running backs. Wide receivers, obviously, with, I'm less concerned about them, if we're going to be honest. I'm less concerned about their wide receivers. I'm more concerned about the positions that I just mentioned. And when we look at the offensive line, Tristan Wirfs, I know 49er fans know him well, arguably one of the best young left tackles in the league. You've got Graham Barton. Graham Barton was a very popular name as a potential offensive line draft pick for the 49ers in the first round. He was my top center in this last draft class, and I think he has proven to be that so far. I know Frazier has played really well for the Steelers from the center position, but I think it's been Frazier and Barton kind of at the top of the list for rookie centers. Cody Mauk, he was a guy that I really liked coming out of SDSU, or not SDSU, NDSU. He's pretty solid. And you got Luke Godecki. So their offensive line is actually pretty solid. Justin School, yeah, Justin School's over there. Their offensive line's a solid group. And I do think that they're going to have the opportunity to, make some plays. And it's going to be up to that defensive line to really create penetration and to be able to fill the running lanes and also make sure that the flats are patrolled, because they're going to run screens. They're going to run quick little quick hitters out to the outside. They're going to do all those different types of things. So it's going to be predicated a lot, I think, on linebackers and whoever's going to be playing nickel. I think with Mooney Ward officially being out, I think that creates an interesting situation, because I do feel like this is a game where you do want Diamador Lenore playing in the nickel if you can, because of the threat of the running backs, especially being able to threaten you on the outside. So it'll be interesting to see how the 49ers kind of use their defensive groupings. With Mooney being out, obviously Renato Green is going to step into a larger role. Isaac Yadam's going to step into a larger role. Maybe we'll see Darrell Luter Jr., guys like that. So it's going to be an interesting one. But I think it could be a day for the linebackers. I think it could be a day for the nickel. So let's I'm gonna throw it to you guys. If you guys have any thoughts on who you think the defensive player of the game will be coming out of this one, feel free to drop it in the chat. But like I said, I do think that it will be kind of someone on the second level. Obviously, Nick Bosa will have an opportunity to wreck this game. He definitely will. But I think there are two players that are going to be heavily involved. And I think it's going to be either Fred Warner or Diamador Lenore. Those are the two guys that I think are going to have big games. Obviously, Renato Green's going to have a big game as well. And whoever's going to be playing at safety, Jair Brown, potentially Tashawn Gibson, Malik, we'll see. But I think this is going to be a Diamador or a Warner game for sure. So that's who I got. Don't sleep on Nick Bosa though. Not only is Nick Bosa going after a very heated rival of his in Baker Mayfield, but hey, you know the vibes. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But that's what I think is going to happen on the defensive side. I think it's going to come down to 49ers linebackers with Fred Warner leading the charge and Diamador Lenore really making his presence felt in the secondary. So those are my two guys for this. But let's take a look at the 49ers and how their offense is going to match up against the Tampa Bay Bucs defense. Now, I kind of like their defense. Kalijah Cansey, very solid defensive lineman. Vita Vea, just a freak of nature on the interior. He is going to cause problems for sure for those guys up front. However, we got Dominic Pooney. We got a little poly on poly action here. We'll see. We'll see if the poly powers can kind of mitigate what Vita Vea can do, because he is a freak. At his size, he is a good player. Logan Hall, decently high draft pick, and Yaya Diaby was also a draft crush of mine coming out of I think it was 2 years ago. Now he's in his second season. Yaya is phenomenal. He's honestly, actually, I really liked him coming out, but he's actually exceeded my expectations in the league. He was up there with being one of the defensive rookies of the year, with how well he was playing his rookie season. So Diaby is a guy that you definitely don't want to sleep on. So to me, they have a young, talented defensive line. So that's one of the first things that jumps out to me. And then, of course, they got Levante David. The guy just doesn't age, still playing at an extremely high level at middle linebacker. And also you got Joe Tryon Shoyinka, who I believe he was a first-round draft pick as well. I mean, this front seven is pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. They're young outside of, Levante David. Vita Vea is obviously long in the tooth, but they are a solid front seven. So that's going to be a fun matchup to watch, especially with Christian McCaffrey returning. So excited to see how that all plays out. But also when you take a look at their secondary, obviously Winfield is a dog. I mean, when I look at this roster, I just see a lot of guys that I liked coming out of the draft. I really liked Zion McCollum. I think Zion McCollum has turned into a quality cornerback. He has really played well for them. I remember watching him at the combine when I was down in Indianapolis, being like, he was a really small, I think it was Sam Houston was where he was from. I don't even remember. I'm like remembering his helmet, and I believe it was the orange Sam Houston helmet. But I just remember watching him at the NFL Combine and being like, yeah, this guy's a player. So Zion is proven to be that. So, but I do think, when we look at the 49ers, how they've matched up against this defense over the last couple of years, they haven't had too many issues with them. So it is going to be interesting to see if that trend continues, especially with Christian McCaffrey returning to the backfield. So I'm very, very interested to see how that whole situation plays out and all that good stuff. But yeah, when I look at this defense and I look at the 49ers offense, I do think that with Christian McCaffrey back, you got to tip the scale to them. You got to put it, you're getting the reigning offensive player of the year back into the mix. It's hard to bet against that. Now I get it. It's his first game. There is going to be, I think, a little bit of wait and see with that whole situation. Just, we got to make sure we don't really know. We're just speculating at this point what we think CMC's involvement will be, but we do anticipate it to be pretty solid. And for what it's worth, I do see right here, former 49ers legend Chase McLaughlin is their kicker. We know him from filling in when Robbie Gould got hurt and Chase McLaughlin came in. I don't think he missed a kick. I can't even remember. But I think he played pretty well. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what you guys think for the offensive player of the game, it feels like the popular pick would be to go Christian McCaffrey. That seems like the spot where, you know, he's coming back. 49er fans are going to be super excited about him. We're expecting a decent workload for CMC, but is it going to be a CMC game? Or is it going to fall on someone else's shoulders? Remember, Deebo Samuel is going to play. Jawan Jennings is going to play. Jordan Mason's going to play. Kittle is going to play. So you kind of get your weapons back. Obviously, it's pretty much the strongest they have been, minus Brandon Ayuk. So I'm curious, who do you guys think is going to be the offensive player of the game in this one? It could be Brock, obviously, if he's out here distributing. I think back to his first career start against the Tampa Bay Bucs in 2022 when he just dismantled the Bucs and just really, really put them in a tough spot. Facebook user is going Kittle. Tommy says, I'm going Jennings. Hendrick says, I want to say CMC, but I'm going to go with Jennings. I like the Jennings one. I think the Jennings one you could attack. I wonder who Winfield is going to be king on. I would have to imagine it would be Kittle. But again, man, this is the fun part about it is with Christian McCaffrey back into the mix. That's the thing is they're not going to be able to. It's going to be tough to double anyone unless they decide to double CMC or try to put an extra set of. I don't know, man. It's going to be. I'm fascinated to see what the game plan is going to look like. Strawberry says, I'm still going Kittle. Bucs are bad against the tight ends. And Kittle's just been having a great year. Kittle, to me, is the best tight end in football right now, and it's not even up for debate. It's been a rocky road for Travis Kelce this year. Just not the same, man. Just not the same since Taylor came into his life. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know. And I also don't watch Chiefs football. I can only speak to the production that we see in the stat sheet. TD on his first run. All right, I like that. JJ's back. Valhalla says Pierce Saul. Yeah, that makes sense. Jennings. Kittle's absolutely on fire. So if I had to think of who's going to be the offensive player of the game, I like your guys' Kittle. I like the Kittle pick. I like the Jawan pick as well. Ooh, I kind of want to go against the grain a little bit. You know what? I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to go with probably who I shouldn't go with. But I'm going to go with CMC. I'm going CMC on this one. If you get a double, like let's say 2 touchdowns from CMC in this one, how electric would that be? Just to be like we're all the way back. No setbacks, able to get through the game. No issues. Ooh, that would feel so good. Be great for everyone, for sure. But we got a new kind of situation here for our sleeper picks. So we've been hitting on our sleeper picks. I don't know if you guys knew this, but we're 2-0. The last 2 times we have picked for the 49ers. So we're on a little bit of a streak. Let's see if we can keep it going at 3-0 on hitting on our sleeper picks. So we've been doing well. It was a rough start We started rough, but we're now on they call it a streak, as they say. So we're getting close, man. So I want to get this up here because we have an exciting new offer from Sleeper. If you guys have played Sleeper DFS before, but let me get this up. So you can really take advantage of Sleeper right now. So if you guys have heard me before, if you've never played on Sleeper and you wanted to get in on the DFS, if you used SF Niners at sign up, you would be able to get $100 deposit match or up to 100. This is insane. You can now get up to a $1,500 deposit match for your first time. Again, first time. So you can't go back and forth. The first time you sign up. And hey, let's say that you've already signed up, a little workaround, maybe sign up with a different email. I'm just saying. Different email. You want to take advantage of this? Kind of work around. Sign up with a different email. Use my promo code SF9ers. So to think about it, let's say you deposited 1,500. You get 1,500. So it's like you've instantly hit a $1,500 bet or a pick, and just like that, you would have 1,500 into your account. So that's pretty crazy. So obviously that's a big investment to put in 15 to get back 15 for a total of 3,000 in your wallet before you've even started. But I mean, just like I said, man, we've been hitting on Sleeper the last 2 weeks. We've been doing good. So if you're into DFS, I know it's been just getting more and more prevalent throughout the years. But now is a pretty good time to get in on it. So let's do our sleeper pick, shall we? Let's see. Dude, I lost my phone in my house. I don't know where it is. I cannot. So I've got 2 phones. I got my personal phone. I got a work phone. I can't find my normal phone. How do you lose your phone in your house? How does that happen? I literally made a post on Instagram. I think it was 2 nights ago now at this point, and I put it down somewhere and it is gone. I can't find it. How does that happen? How do you lose your phone in your own house? So anyways, I'm doing my picks on my iPad now. Someone says their connection is frozen. Hopefully it's not the same for everyone else. So I was calling my phone. I was literally walking around the house because I always keep my phone on vibrate. But vibrate, you can hear, right? I pace the house. And when this happens, this is what starts to terrify me. Did one of my kids, again, I got a 2-year-old running around and he is in his 2-year-old era. Did he find it? And did he throw it in the trash? did he hide it from me? And of course, it's now dead. So Anyways, it has to come up. It has to come up somewhere. But so let's get into our sleeper picks. A lot of you guys had felt Kittle was going to have a big game. So let's start with that. What do we like with Kittle? Do we like anytime touchdown? His reception yards are set at 59 and a half, which isn't bad. Out of the last 3 or 4 weeks, Kittle would have cashed over that. But remember, you now got Jawan back. You now got CMC back. Does that take away? I don't know. From a touchdown standpoint, he would have hit on the last 3 of the 4 weeks. So, but receptions, he would have hit the last 4 weeks in a row. I think I'm going receptions on this one. I think I'm going to go receptions. I like the trend. Last week, he had 6 receptions. The week prior to that, he had 6 receptions, 5 receptions against Seattle, and then 8 receptions against Arizona. And it's set at 4.5. I think I kind of like the reception. And also from a community pick standpoint, 99.01% have picked Kittle on the over for receptions. So I think I'm going to go Kittle receptions over. Nice little multiplier too. Not bad. 1.67. So nice little multiplier for Kittle. I feel like we should do should we do CMC or should we stay away from CMC? Ooh, I'm doing a Bosa sack. That's undebatable. I'm gonna go with a Bosa sack. So it's set at half a sack. So 1 sack, you're gonna be able to cash that one. That feels like Bosa's gonna get a sack. CMC Tutty for the vibes. I mean, we could go CMC. Have they increased Brock's rushing yards yet? No. Ooh, we might have to get a little crazy on this. Seems like it's going to be a good ticket. I think I'm going to go with Purdy rushing yards. This one's going to be a little bit bigger of a ticket than normal, just because Brock's. Yeah, the Brock would have hit the last 4 weeks on the rushing total. He's set at 15.5. Brock's been taken off. I mean, it's one of the easiest ones around, going Brock over rushing yards, and they haven't adjusted it. He had 56 rushing yards last week. So yeah, I'm going to take the 15.5. I'm going to take the over. So we're already 3 picks in. Do we go CMC? Do we go anytime touchdown? Man, that they're treating CMC like he's back. His totals are like he's the reigning offensive player of the year. So that's an interesting one. We don't think Bosa's going to play? I don't know. He looked like he was going to play after what I saw in practice today. Let me see. This is what it said. It said, Shanahan said he was concerned about Bosa's status on Sunday to a degree. He wasn't able to do a lot. He definitely was extremely limited. Hoping he'll be all right, but we'll see on Sunday. Bosa had a hit pointer on Wednesday. It seems a little, I don't know. Is that gamesmanship? Could be. So I don't know. I don't know. Ooh, that's yeah. Do you think we should hold off on Bosa? Because again, if we don't go Bosa, it won't penalize us. It will just kind of cancel out. I think Bosa's playing. I think he is. Um, let's go with it. Oh, don't go Bosa. I don't know. I feel like Bosa's gonna play. I feel like Bosa's gonna play. Hold on, let me see. Let me look at the tape. We gotta make sure we get this right. I know Lombardi posted something. I mean, he's practicing, but he does look a little gimpy. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. It's too good. It's too good. Um are we going CMC? Are we going CMC anytime touchdown for the vibes? Keep in mind, we already have 3 picked. So typically we go 2 Niners and one opposing team. We're at 3 already. We're at Kittle over reception yards. We're at Purdy over rushing yards, and we're at Bosa over sacks. All right, scared money don't make no money. I like it. Let's go CMC anytime tuggies for the vibes. All right, who do we want to pick for who's our mark on the Bucs? Who do we want to go with? Let's see. What's Baker? Baker throws a lot of picks. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 games this year where Baker hasn't thrown a pick. But he does again, he doesn't have he's still been throwing pass touchdown. Do we want to go Baker? Do we like the INT for Baker? We also could look at Cade Otton. He's scored a touchdown in the last 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know. The offense kind of scares me a little bit. I feel like we've hit on the interceptions. We hit on both our hits. Dak Prescott interception and Patrick Mahomes interception. Do we keep the trend rolling? Do we just roll with the interceptions? 49ers defense has been pretty stout. Keep in mind, no Charvarius Ward, Malik Mustafa, TBD. So secondary a little bit banged up. Do we still feel comfortable with a Baker INT? If so, all right. Chat saying let's cook. All right. So that's not a bad ticket. All right. That's not a bad ticket. Not a bad ticket at all. I'm gonna throw a Dubski on this. Let's throw a W on it. Let's submit it. All right, let me screenshot it and I'll pull it up. So if you guys want to copy the picks, you guys want to roll with what we're rolling with, I'll show you. I'll show you what we got. All right, so done, save. All right, Demo or Warner. I like where your guys' head's at. We're cooking now. I like where your guys' head's at. I feel like we're starting to really get a hang of how we're building out these tickets, man. You know, when I started doing this with Sleeper, I was brand new, brand spanking new. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I'm starting to figure it out more. I'm starting to like understand the trends better, and like I think we might got a good one here. So I'll show you what we're cooking with. Let me get this thing pulled up. Man, can you even see that? So Purdy, we're going over with the rushing yards. McCaffrey, we're going anytime touchdown. Baker Mayfield, we're going to interception. Bosa, over on a sack. Kittle, over on reception yards. This ticket, I put 20 down. If I win, if we win, that's $230. So not bad. Not bad return on our sports investment. That's what we're doing here. We're investing our knowledge of sports into trying to, make a little extra, all right? Little beer money, little gas money, maybe a little hey, whatever floats your boat. Whatever you guys want. Yeah, no VPN needed. This is good to go. Oh, the 49ers have waived Patrick Taylor. I know why they waived Patrick Taylor. It's happening, guys. The 49ers are getting ready for Christian McCaffrey. That's why that happened. I like Patrick Taylor. I hope he sticks around, man. I hope he comes back to the practice squad. I think he's got some untapped potential. So I hope they keep him around. So yeah, this feels like that feels like the Christian McCaffrey roster move. I don't think anyone would claim him, but hey, you never know. So that feels like CMC is for sure rocking and rolling. All right, CMC. He's as good as going. And we knew that was going to happen too. So these are the picks if you guys want to copy them and you want to get in on that. And again, this is insane. I've never seen any DFS do a deal like this where you have the opportunity to get up to $1,500 matching. Again, that's like winning a bet before you've even placed it, or winning I should say a wager. Winning a wager before you've placed one. Because if you throw it, say you throw down 200, they instantly send you 200 into your wallet. So you haven't even placed a wager yet, and you got 400 in your account. I mean, this is crazy. Honestly, when I saw that, I was like, 1,500. I thought it was crazy when we were doing 500 deposit match. 1,500 is literally an insane amount because it's an insane amount. So I got you, Facebook user. I saw you say you don't know why it's saying Facebook user, but hey, it's saying Facebook user. All right, let's finish this thing up here. Let me get your bold takes for the game here. Give me some bold takes. What are your bold takes coming up for this game against Ooh, I like that. Kittle 3 touchdowns. Oh, I'm not a fan of wishing injury on anyone. So I hope that's not the case. 2 receiving, 1 rush. Oh, that's a bold take right there. That's bold take. Rushing touchdown for George Kittle. They've tried to get Kittle a couple rushes here or there. Demo pick 6, like that. Yeah, I think again we talked about it. Demo, Fred Warner, man. Demo, Fred Warner feels like a huge opportunity. No, I hear you. CMC, rush, catch, and we're going Rams. We're going throwback to the Rams game where CMC gets a hat trick, throwing, rushing, and catching. Dude, that was such a wild performance if we really think about it. Renardo Island INT. Hell yeah. CMC 2 touchdowns, 100+ yards. Wow. That's crazy. That would be fire. Somehow Tabor gets a touchdown. Chili, what's up, my guy? Chili says Pearsall will score. Also, can we light some candles to make sure CMC is healthy this year? We did it last year and it worked. A prayer circle? We haven't done a prayer circle this year. It hasn't happened. We haven't done it, but I'm saving the prayer circle. I think we used up a lot of the football gods, goodwill, and I think we need to save it for the right time. So, but I think CMC, I think he's all right. I think he's going to play a good amount. CMC throws for a touchdown and rushes for one as well. I like that. Bold take, we all retire thanks to Brad's sleeper picks. That's the dream right there. That is absolutely the dream. All right. Let's see how confident you guys are. When we drop our score predictions, it's always an indication of how confident you are in this game. So, what are we feeling? What do you think the score prediction? What do you think the final score is going to be for the San Francisco 49ers in this one? Is it going to be domination? Is it going to be close? Maybe a little bit of a trap, 49ers travel cross country, 10 a.m. start time, good team, even though they're injured. I do have some respect for the Bucs and how they've been playing. Could it be that? I don't know. You guys let me know. Your score predictions will tell all. So confidence right off the bat. Gabriel 37-17. Hendricks 31-17. 28-17. Pretty confident. 28-21. 38-24. Yeah, it's not bad. That would be great if the 49ers got close to 40 in this game. 24-17, a little bit closer. 28-16. Are all the Facebook folks coming in as Facebook user? Must be having an issue with the Facebook stream. Chili says 27-21, a little bit closer. 31-14. Okay, I like this logic. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but every game they score 30, they always win every game. We lose. Wait, they always win every game we lose. We always scored under 30. We lose when we score under 30. So I'm going to say 34-19. Sorry. I had a mini stroke. That makes sense. 34-19. 31-20. 40-22. 42-13. Can we run the ball 30 to 40 times? I kind of agree with that. I would love to see that. I feel like what I want to see is more play action. I felt like getting into the play action rhythm is going to be huge. And I think CMC helps provide that. 28-24 Niners. I think that the 49ers score with 30 in this one. I'm going to go 31. I'm going to go 31-21. 31-21 on this one. Think about a 10-point margin seems fair. Again, a 10-point margin that the 49ers are going to maintain in the fourth quarter. And they're going to exercise the demons with Christian McCaffrey coming back into the mix. So, yeah. That's what I think. I think the 49ers are going to win this one. I do. I mean, it's very rare that we do a score prediction where we're not predicting the 49ers win or they don't win, if we're being honest. But I think they should win this one. I do. CMC with 15 touches max. I think I feel like 20. I feel like 20 is a good number. Somewhere 15-20. If you go a little bit, what did I say the other night? I think I said 3 receptions, and I also think I said somewhere from 15 to 20 rushes, but maybe 15 rushes, 3 receptions, right around there. Yeah, I said it. Let's see. Is Khalil Davis suiting up? I would imagine he is. He's on the active, right? So I would assume he is. He's a defensive tackle, so acclimation period isn't as high as if you were to be traded on the offensive side. I don't know how much he'll play, but I do expect him to play because you don't have Kevin Givens in this one. So I expect we'll see him show up. So Kalia Davis, the Kalia Khalil is going to destroy my brain. But I do believe that both will play. I haven't seen anything that would indicate that Kalia isn't going to. So I would expect to see both. Jordan Elliott back out there, Malik Collins, no Yetur Gross Matos, that he's already been ruled out. Big day for Sam O. Sam O continues to have a phenomenal year. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. But I'm confident in this one. I think 49ers are going to really feel rejuvenated after this one. I'm really hoping, again, the biggest thing that I'm looking for is the return of complementary football. That's it. It's not simple. It's simply said. It's not simple to execute, but getting into that complementary rhythm of all three phases working together, long drives complement the defense, keeps the defense on the field, off the field, keeps defenses fresh. Not putting not having to punt and put your return units, into danger. Long drives that end with touchdowns, that's going to help everyone. And then, of course, your defense comes out, energized, gets a stop, get the ball back, and you get into that rhythm of long drives, scoring, defensive stops, special teams playing well, and you kind of get back into that kind of flow state. And I just feel like we haven't seen a lot of flow state from the San Francisco 49ers on all three phases playing together. We've seen it in bunches. We've seen it on drives. We've seen it in quarters. We've seen it in instances. But with all three phases working together in a complementary flow state, that's just really what I want to see. I want to see everyone fresh. And listen, man, the 49ers came out of the bye last year pissed off. They destroyed the Jags. Kind of a similar situation. Had to travel to Jacksonville. They beat up on the Jacksonville Jags, especially after kind of, that 3-game skid heading into the bye, kind of helped them get things back on track, got the energy back on track, got the momentum back on track. So that's what I'm hoping for, man. That's what I'm hoping for sure. So we got James getting his score prediction at the buzzer. I like it. 28-10. I like the confidence there. That's a we're going to win, and we are going to win emphatically. So I do like that. I do like that quite a bit. So big one coming up. 49ers, CMC returning. 49ers getting a lot of pieces back. I like it. I like it for sure. So appreciate everyone for tapping in on this one. That's some fun with this one. Again, you want to get in on some sleeper picks. You know the vibes. Use the code SF9ers. Get up to a $1,500 deposit match. Crazy. And, of course, if you guys are going to the game, you know where to tap in. Tick pick as always. And, again, use my code SF9ers. You get a discount. All that good stuff. Appreciate you all. Grab your cookies on the way out. Shout out to SDS as always. I appreciate all of you guys. You're all the best. Let's get this energy back on track. Is Flomentum? Oh yeah. I've come to the conclusion that I'm leaning towards Flomentum for all games now. So you better expect it. You better expect it. Appreciate all you guys. Grab your cookies on the way out. I am out for now, and we'll catch up before we do it again on Sunday. Appreciate you all. I'm Audi 5000. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to